Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Okay, just ahead of Farhan Lalji. Is One Shoe Edna not? Is she not sponsoring our guest on a Thursday?
Should be.
Along with the birthdays?
We asked One Shoe, and they couldn't come up with the funds, unfortunately. So that's fine. Let's just stick with the birthdays.
Yeah. Well, it is,
One
we're
Shoe
coming out of the winter. Lawnmower service.
Business
It picks up in the spring and summer.
It's about to pick up again, yeah.
Tim in Richmond into the Laney's OK Tire and Langley inbox just ahead of Farhan. Donnie, I know you like wearing blazers and suit jackets. If you don't have any green to wear, I have a nice green Riddler jacket you can borrow. And Tim says, Happy St. Paddy's Day, everybody. Did you see the new Batman? My one boy,
the Riddler in Batman.
My boy Reed has seen it twice already, the Batman. And they've resurrected the Riddler, played by one of the great actors, great young actors out there, Paul Dano.
Yeah.
You aware of him?
No.
You see Love and Mercy?
No.
There you go. Imagine me and that.
That is sharp. I like that. That's Don Cherry-like.
It is. Don Cherry-esque.
Esque.
What was the other movie? 12 Years a Slave. Paul Dano was in that as well. He's really good.
Yeah, he's good.
I haven't seen The Batman yet, but thumbs up from my boy. Farhan joins us now from TSN. Canucks and Red Wings tonight at Rogers Arena. Morning skate going on. Farhan, you're there right now?
I am, in fact, just outside the Norm Jewison press room waiting for Bruce Boudreau to regale us with his entertaining banner.
Yeah, how entertaining is that? How much do you enjoy covering Bruce Boudreau on a daily basis? He always seems engaged with the media.
Yeah, he's good. And first of all, we don't like waiting because generally we have to wait in the morning a little longer than we did in previous regimes. But that's all good, right? I mean, part of the deal. But yeah, Bruce is fun, right? He's very self-deprecating. He doesn't take himself that seriously in these settings. So it's good. And, Travis Green, when he was here previously, there was a bit of a dismissive tone to how he carried himself with us. But, we also had a chance to know Travis outside of that, so we knew he wasn't really like that. So we didn't necessarily take it personally. It was just kind of a game of cat and mouse every now and again because he was a good guy. But, Bruce is definitely all of that and a breath of fresh air for media and players, it would appear.
Thomas Hurdle, center with the San Jose Sharks, veteran center. I'm sure he's used on the PK, he's used on the power play. He puts up points, 8.1375 per over 8 years with San Jose. To stay in San Jose, he gets an extension. What would your reaction be if the Canucks gave that to JT Miller?
Yeah, and I think when you look at that could be what's coming, right? When you consider what JT Miller's value is to the Canucks, and you got to really look at it. I mean, that's what he's going to command, right? And if you're JT Miller, you don't want to wait until next offseason before going through a contract negotiation. You want to strike while the iron is hot. So whether that means you get traded and want to negotiate with the new team or include that as part of a trade agreement or stay in Vancouver and get this done this offseason, right? I mean, money talks. For everybody who says, JT Miller doesn't want to stay here, money talks. That's what it comes down to. And if you're JT Miller, you want to find out how much money you can get this offseason while you've had a brilliant season. And I think that's what it's going to take. And if you're the Canucks, you got some big tickets due. And, and I know Rick over there next to you wants everybody to get everything.
Yes.
God bless him.
Just stop.
Come on, you know it, my friend. You know it. But you've got that contract's going to be due. You've got Bo Horvat coming up. You've got Brock Besser with a $7.5 million qualifying offer coming. You've got some big tickets due, and you can't have them all.
Yeah, but you got to do what Hamilton did. They added New Jersey did. They added Hamilton on defense at $9 million, but they knew PK Subban was on his way out. That's what the Canucks got to do. Is if you're going to add this guy, you better get rid of someone. Farhan, 22.
You don't want to get rid of anybody. You love them all.
Yeah.
Just stop.
So true.
Just stop. Would you talk to this guy before the show? Anyways, listen. Canucks are 22-9-5 under Boudreau. One of the best teams in the NHL since December 5th. Farhan, I don't think anybody saw this. You got to give them credit. They keep on winning.
Yeah, you do. You have to give them credit. And, as Bo Horvat said to Thomas Drance after the last game, they feel that they've earned the right to continue this, right? And not all of a sudden have to be sellers going into Monday and certainly it doesn't look like they're going to be. But yeah, they've earned the right, and nobody saw this coming. And the fact is, it's not simply the coaching change, but when you look at the number of COVID breaks and things like that they've had to take, and a number of disruptive situations they've been put in, I think you've got to give the players full marks for responding to the coaching change, to Bruce Boudreau for getting the most out of them. And yeah, it's fun to watch. And when you look under the hood and you look at some of the underlying numbers, it's not perfect, right? And there was a period of time where they were completely leaning on Thatcher Demko, and now there's been a period of time where Demko's been average, not poor, just average, and they've been able to outscore all of that and put up some good numbers offensively, right? So they've just found a way, and it's been entertaining to watch, no doubt. And could you imagine, right, if the right things happen tonight, even if it's just from a point standpoint, not a points percentage standpoint, they could actually be above the playoff bar tonight, Rick.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
You mentioned Thatcher Demko. Do you think the Canucks are overplaying him right now? That was our poll question yesterday.
Well, yes. This has not been something Thatcher Demko has gone through to this point, but at the end of the day, what do you do? Because Jarl Halak hasn't given you the confidence to think you could play him more. Now, truthfully for me, and we talked about this on our podcast the other day, I think they actually should be playing Halak tonight and in one of the back-to-backs, like theoretically the Buffalo game, because this might be a game you can win anyway. Not that the Canucks should take anybody for granted, but this might be a game you can win anyway. And if he all of a sudden puts together two decent performances, you've now raised his trade value going into Monday, and you've reclaimed some of that. Whereas right now, it's not just about his no movement protection; it's about his performance in his last three outings. So, and there's others that think, forget Halak and forget the niceties. Just get Spencer Martin up here and give him a start here or there. But when you look at Demko's performance, again, it's been solid, but it hasn't been elite like it was 3 weeks ago. And you have to believe some of that is fatigue related. Boudreau assures us a couple of days ago that it wasn't injury related, right? That he knew he was going to get yesterday off. He said it's not injury. But yeah, they've got to manage his workload, and I think they should do that tonight in the game. But it doesn't look like they're going to, because Demko is first off the ice.
Okay, I'm going to let you repeat that, Farhan. You want the Canucks to start Halak tonight and one of the games on the weekend.
I do. I think it'd be a smart thing to do, because this is a Detroit team that's struggling. This is a game you could potentially win even with Halak in net. And again, if he has a good performance in this game, you're going to play him in one of the back-to-backs, right? Like, you've conceded that there is some load management going on with Demko here, so you know that he's going to play in one of the back-to-backs as well. If you get two good games out of him, you might be in a different position come Monday as far as the deadline's concerned, because there are teams that need goalies.
Don't bring this up with Boudreau. He's going to kick you out of the room. They're going for a playoff spot.
1 point out, and you said they could be in a playoff spot tonight.
Hey, Farhan. Yeah. Farhan, before we let you go here, some football here. News from our industry earlier this week. Troy Aikman gets $90 million over 5 years from ESPN. Joe Buck, $65 over 5. But let's focus on Troy Aikman. Is he... I mean, it's crazy money. We can't relate to that. But is he anywhere near worth that?
No. And look, I like Troy Aikman, and you could make the case that he's the best in the business. He or Tony Romo, or pick your guy. But I just don't think anybody in our industry doing that job is worth that much, right? And then they're also sitting there trying to split off a bit of that audience, right? Because you've now also got the Manning cast, right? And they're going to try to beef that up a bit and make that more successful, which comes at the expense of Aikman and Buck. They're fantasy numbers for me. I mean, Lord knows I'm barely getting $100 working for you guys. Am I even getting that? So
there's a memo. You'll see it later.
Yeah, there's pay cuts happening. Pay cuts are happening, pal.
Yeah, that's all because Henderson's getting a raise. But
that's it.
When I look at it, I can't wrap my head around any broadcaster making that type of money. But you know what? We're in the industry, so if that's what they're willing to pay it, go get it.
Yeah.
Romo over Aikman, or the other way around?
Hey, you like Russell Wilson's trade? You like that move? We haven't talked about it.
Okay. By the way, I take Romo over Aikman. I think you feel the same way. Russell Wilson's his press conference yesterday. Is that what we're talking about, Farhan?
First of all, I'd take Kirk Herbstreit over any of them.
Okay.
The college football analyst, but. It was interesting the way that all played out with both sides talking yesterday, and the Seahawks making it clear that Wilson initiated this, and he kind of softly denied it. But ultimately this is all going to come down to what the plan is, and if it's Drew Lock, I'd be a little bit nervous. But let's see who the Seahawks bring in. I think there's still another shoe to drop here. And, you know, if the performance is good and the plan is good, they're not going to get criticized. If it goes the other way, they're going to get criticized. And the Colin Kaepernick stuff was interesting as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With him working out with Lockett?
Calling Seattle.
Well, yeah, and then even Carroll admitting that, I think he deserves another chance. I don't know if that's going to be here, but clearly he's getting a little more aggressive right now as he sees the desperate need teams have at the position. So who knows if he's going to get another life out of it. I'd like to see it. I get that it's been 5 years and it's been too long, but the fact that it's been 5 years is a problem, and if he gets one more kick at it, good for him.
Fran, they offered him a deal before, did they not?
They didn't. No, they brought him in for a tryout.
Okay,
They chose not to offer him a deal because they felt that he was a starter and they already had a starter. And
that's what it
was. I don't think
they
wanted to. Yeah, they didn't want to bring that into the room because a lot of people would gravitate to Kaepernick, not Wilson, given the personalities and what they represent. So I get why they didn't bring him in. But now, hey, let him come in and compete. That's what Pete says all the time, right? We're all about competing.
Farhan, thanks for this. Appreciate it. And by the way, your goalie theory, I've got one that just may be as left turn as yours. So I'm going to talk about it right now. Well, I think they should. Well, we'll tease it. We'll let you go, and we'll tease it, and we'll go from there. Thanks for this, Farhan.
Okay.
You bet.